Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is podcast number 13. I am on a mission to make 100 podcasts. I don't know why I wrote this, but I want to be in the trenches. I want to learn. I believe everyone has a story, and I'm committed to telling the story. My name is Jose, and here is Matt Leone. Leone? Sorry. Say hi, motherfucker.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me on the show.
For the first time
For
ever.
the first time ever.
So, Matt,
Talk to me, bro.
we got to get to it.
What do you want to talk about?
Matt, you got killed.
Tommy, please don't shoot. I got no problem with you.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
So that was Matt's demise on the great show Power.
Mm-hmm.
Matt is a barber. I've known Matt for 15 years. What's so funny?
Yeah, it's crazy. I have known you for 15 years.
So Matt came into the shop where I used to work,
Yeah.
the shop in J, and walked in one day, wanted to learn how to cut. I didn't believe him, but he kept showing up. He brought friends. He brought people to cut, and
And you were nice enough to stay after work.
I.
That was really the thing, too.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But I wasn't sure. Now I'm going back to that time. One, when you teach, you learn.
Sure.
So that's always helpful. I didn't know that back then.
How long had you been cutting at the time? It was like 2004. Probably.
I think like 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
I think I was better then than I am
Interesting.
now.
The stakes were higher.
Yeah, it was like I had something to prove.
Yeah. And then when you're working in the shop, too, it's like there's competition. So you...
Wait. Let me get through my intro.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, can't see me. So that's where I met Matt. Working in the shop. He came a few times. We learned some shit. And you always told me that you told me a few years later that you were acting. But then boom, out of nowhere, we're on Power.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that process of, because I remembered talking to you. Then I didn't see you for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Then I saw you a couple of times. Shout out to the tonsorialist. You bought some capes.
Yeah.
And we were talking about acting. And how did this come about?
How did the acting come about, or just
How did the acting come about?
Yeah.
Getting on Power, whatever else you've done.
I mean, the acting. I think when I got out of high school, I didn't really have. I didn't know what I was going to do. I did a year at school, and I just had a really tough time, and I was in a strange place, like emotionally and spiritually, and felt like, yeah, for real.
You were not spiritually fit.
I was not spiritually fit at all. And the acting thing was always in the back of my head because I was like real sensitive and felt like I had good instincts. And yeah, I went to school, studied for years, 5 years or so, like 2 years of like main schooling, but then another few years of like in and out of different classes. And
Wait, this is not acting though.
this is acting, yeah.
5 years of acting?
School,
Really?
yeah. Oh yeah.
How much is there to learn?
Oh, there's a lot to learn about yourself, bro. That kind of never stops. And then it's like the education, I think.
Wait, you're talking about
Right.
acting school?
Acting school, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best...
So you have a doctorate in acting
No,
school.
hell no. I don't even know if that exists. No, that doesn't exist. But no, I mean, the education ends up like transcending acting school, and it becomes about like learning about yourself and like what makes you tick and like, you know, just your own shit, like trauma and whatever. But yeah, to fast forward, I was in school. I was studying acting for a bit, and then was auditioning. I didn't book anything for first couple years, bro, and I was like in a really rough place, and I felt like, oh, like I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do, but like I'm not getting any work. So, and then literally like the day before I found out that I had gotten
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to ruin the moment. Let's backtrack a little bit. So
Mhm.
2 years of nothingness.
Yeah.
How do you keep going?
That's a great question, man. I think there was just this thing inside me that said that, this is what you're supposed to do. But it was rough. Like, it was a painful 2 years. Like, bro, I have really bad anxiety, especially when I first started acting. Like, if I had an audition, I couldn't eat from like the moment I found out I had the audition until after the audition. Like, I was just so anxious and insecure. And so yeah, it was a rough 2 years, but there was always something that said like, just, all right, maybe the next one, maybe the next one, maybe the next one.
Is acting a safe space for you? If you have these problems, acting could be like
that's a really
ruthless.
So that's a really good question. I think it's a great question. I think initially acting did not feel like a safe space because I didn't give myself the room to learn. Like, unfortunately, the way my brain works, I expect myself to be great at everything as soon as I start. And if I'm not, like, I start thinking crazy shit about myself. So initially, acting wasn't a safe space because I just wasn't free enough to be present in a scene or just, like, even understand what the fuck was going on with me because I was so critical of myself. And then, literally, it took me years to get to a place where, like, I kind of understood what it was that was contributing to that, like, voice in my head that was so critical.
Mm-hmm.
And then acting became like a safe haven where it was like, initially it was like, it felt like dangerous in a way because I was so critical of myself, but then I finally had gotten to a place where I could just be free. And you know what I'm saying? It was like, yeah.
That's interesting. So I didn't think about this before, but now I'm starting to see that most barbers want to do something else.
Yeah, I noticed that.
You notice that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I visited this barbershop the other day in North Bergen, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And this barber has been a barber for 55 years.
Oh.
That's all he's ever done.
Was this the Italian guy you said you were going? What street was he on?
72nd?
Yeah. Like tucked in from Bergen Line?
Yes.
I've been there.
You've been
his
there?
name? Some like
Giorgino.
Italian-ass name. Yeah.
Giorgino.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that.
Old school.
Old school. Very into it.
Honorable. Isn't that honorable? Like, it's just like, he's a barber. Like, he just...
For him to do that, yes.
Yeah.
Not for me.
No. But,
Kill myself.
Yeah.
But
like, for that to be the only thing you do for the rest of your life,
isn't that a little wild?
Yeah. It's just a different generation, too. It's also interesting because I think the way people look at barbering now, even from when, like, I started, it was always creative, but there were just other things that kind of contributed to me wanting to be a barber. But back then, it was just, like, to make money. Well, I don't know if it was really about, like, creativity or, like, expression.
You were not doing it just to make money.
No, I wasn't. I'm talking about, like, the old school, like, Italian people from Italy. Like,
Really?
I know the people that
You're Italian. You should know.
Yeah. No, but this is, like, people from back in Italy. Like, even the European barbers I've worked with, they always say that the barbers who got sent to the barber school to become apprentices were the ones who were troublemakers in school.
Really?
Yeah, because they were like, oh, you're not going to be shit, so you might as well go hang out in the barber shop because you got to learn how to do something because you're never going to get a real job.
So they ended up there as a punishment.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just like, this is, like, you're never going to get a job, so learn how to cut hair. But little did they know that, like, once you make it over to the States, you could charge an absurd amount of money for a haircut. Oh. Crazy.
Because over there
like
was
the
different.
jokes on the fucking teachers back in Europe. Yeah.
Okay. Shit. Let's get back to... So 2 years acting.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happens. And then one glorious day. Tell me about that day.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Like, the timing of it was funny because I had left the barbershop that I was working at for a while and just didn't know what I was going to do. I hadn't gotten any acting work. And
were you starting to want to quit?
100%. Literally the day before I found out that I had gotten this job, I was in an audition and I was so anxious and I hadn't been able to eat because I had put so much pressure on myself to book this job because I thought my manager was going to drop me, whatever. And I literally had a moment in the waiting room where I was just like fucking sweating because I was so anxious. I'm like, yo, if higher power, whoever you like, if you don't,
no pun intended.
If you don't show me something, like I gotta
quit.
Yeah, and but there was like, I would like surrender to it. I was like, it's fine. Like, I'll just open up a barbershop. Like, I'll open up my dream shop and I'll like cut and it'll be like a community spot and I can like screen films and do it. Cause I have a great idea for a barbershop one day. And I was like, that's fine. Like, if
Can we hear it or is
I will. Yeah, I'll say it
copywritten?
in a second. But if I said to myself, if I don't get something, then like, this is what I'm going to do. Like, you got to at least give me, like, throw me a fucking bone. And then the next day was like my first day not working at that barbershop. I was unemployed. And then I got a call from my manager. She's like, yo, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, nothing. Like, what? And I was like, yo, did I get that movie that I auditioned for yesterday? And he was like, nah, but you remember you auditioned for Power like 2 months ago? And I didn't even remember, like, I forgot about it.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, yeah, well, like, you got it. And it was like, you know, it was a small part, but it was like, you know, it was a well-known show. And I was just like,
It is a well-known show.
Yeah. And I was just gassed because I, one, had a job, and two, it was like, it was kind of creepy in a way because I had asked like the universe, like, show me something. And literally the next day, it was a tangible thing that
You manifested it.
I believe in all that shit, to be honest. Big
Manifesting.
time, big time. Yeah.
Meditation.
Yeah. All of that.
So calls you, says, what are you doing? You got the part in Power.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
From that moment to when you actually start, how long was that?
I want to say like a month.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, because then I had a trip planned to Italy. Like my plan was I quit the barbershop. I had a trip booked to Italy. I was going to kick it with a cousin I have over there,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of figure out life when I got back. And then what was nice, it was a nice send off because as excited as I was to leave the shop, go to Italy, in the back of my head, I'm like, this is like some fuck off shit because you're, you know, in your mid 20s, like you left your job, you don't have a job, now you're going to Italy to hang out. Like what are you really going to do? So it was.
So did you end up going to Italy?
I did go to Italy because I still had a few weeks until my first thing with Power started. So it was just nice to go to Italy with that, knowing that I had a job to come back to.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So how is this was the biggest production you've been in?
Yeah.
How is it showing up to that set? How is it being on there?
At first it was intimidating because I had never like worked on something that had that much money, like the production value of it.
How's the food?
Food is fire.
Every time I've done a photo shoot, the food tells you how much money they have.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
If it's-
Ridiculous, bro. Like fucking sliced steak for lunch and shit, like crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, phenomenal.
that's different.
Yeah.
If it's sandwiches, it's some bullshit. If it's cold food, it's like whatever.
No, all hot food.
Once the hot food
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
here,
yeah,
you've made it.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you that.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
No, it was great, man. You know, it's wild to see how, because I had been on like smaller sets. Like I had done some TV stuff in the past and like smaller movies and commercials when I was younger. I don't remember enough, but like this, like the money on this show is like apparent. Like there are so many people on set, the production design, like the sound stages, everything is just.
Didn't that feel amazing?
Yeah, I mean, at first I was a little just anxious and kind of insecure because I didn't know anyone. It was just like I was like it's like being like the new kid at school. You know what the hardest thing is?
It's being a new kid at school in a school you want to be in.
Yeah, but like not sure like what group is your group because like the hardest thing, if I'm gonna be honest, like the hardest thing for me about being on a set like the first couple of days is. It's the easiest part is when they say action. The hardest part is when they say cut and then until they say action again, in a way.
Correct.
Because it's like
that's when you're human.
That's when you're human, but more like, you know, if you're new on something that's been going on for a while, like people have real relationships, man. Like there's like real family on set, which is beautiful.
They're like, who the fuck is the new guy?
But no one gives off that energy. I just, because of my own shit, I decide that people are thinking that. And like I remember the first lunch day at Power, I'm like, oh fuck, who am I gonna sit with? And I'm like, you know, the weirdo sitting in a fucking lunch table by myself. But luckily I met my boy Joe on my first day, and he just took me under his wing because he had done an episode, and he's just much better than I am at like meeting people. Like it's strange. Like as a barber, you'd think that I'm like really good at talking to people because I am.
Oh shit, yes.
But it's different because when you're a barber, like you're the one who has the power because you have the person's in your chair and it's like there's no pressure really because the haircut is a barrier between you and the person. You get what I'm saying? Whereas like
yes.
yeah.
Wait, okay. We have to unpack this now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, please. I'm happy to unpack
Hold where you were going because we have to unpack this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean as a barber you have all the power? What does that mean?
Like you are the person that is coming to me for this service. Like you want something from me.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and if there is nothing to talk about and I feel like I have to say something, I can just always talk about hair, like your hair or something, or like, you know, but like.
Do you ever talk because you feel like you have to as a barber?
Sometimes,
Now,
but it's like, I feel like I have like a good, I've been doing it so long. I know when a client wants to talk. I know when a client, I think it's like.
You can read the room.
I can read the room. Yeah.
We don't disclaim anymore.
All right. Word. So yeah, I can tell when a client wants to talk, when a client doesn't. I don't pry. Dude, what fucking irks me so much, like working in shops and watching barbers force conversation. Like it's just
the good old, how was your week? How's your day
bro,
going?
like, stop.
What are your plans for the weekend?
It's the word, bro.
Don't
and-
ask me that shit.
Yeah, no, because it's like sometimes people want to come to the shop to just like chill and like meditate. They don't want to fucking talk. And you have to respect that. The worst is when like hair people start telling clients about their whole shit, their own shit. It's like, yeah, if a client asks and genuinely wants to know, but like don't dump your shit.
You know what?
You know, that's crazy.
You just reminded me. So Joe Budden did a podcast when he fired me about he was like comparing me to the new guy
What was he saying?
at the time.
Damn.
And you know, the guys that talking shit and they're basically saying he's like, oh, so he mentioned that the guy, he said, oh, the new guy's a little chatty for me. He said, and Jose was funnier. And that's all I cared about.
Yeah.
Like I was happy.
Sure.
I said, whoever fucking cut him, I don't care who cuts them.
Yeah.
I don't care if their haircut's 20 times better.
Right.
As long as I was funnier than whoever was cutting him, I didn't care. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
But also, like, I have really, really good conversations with Joe.
Yeah. You've also known him for how long?
I've known him for like 15 years, maybe.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's special when you have that relationship with a client.
Correct. But I don't want to talk to this motherfucker. Like, I don't have much to say to him.
You don't have to because it's just your boy. There's no pressure.
Oh, we also have that thing of, quote unquote, in a relationship when you get to the point where you don't have to say shit.
Yeah.
You're like at a higher level.
Yeah.
Like if we have to say something, meh, when you get. But
Like
anyway.
you can be in a little bit of an off mood and it's just like human. It's not.
Correct.
The stakes aren't the same.
Yes. But yeah, I'm to the point where I never converse just to fill a void.
Oh,
I never do that anymore.
yeah. You see a lot of shit like that on the set.
Well, no.
Dude, people get funky on just that whole like entertainment. It's just funky.
Whoa, wait, hold on. We're getting back there.
Yeah.
It's really funny they said to me that as the barber, you have the power like in that interaction because we do.
Mm-hmm.
We have so much power. It's crazy.
Yeah. You could also avoid eye contact if you want. Like, you know, like if you're looking at someone straight on in the mirror, like, you know,
You have to avoid eye contact.
well,
You're like a
but-
foot away from them. It's kind of weird. If you,
right, but you can look in the mirror or you know what I'm saying? But if you don't even want to see, if you don't even want your client to look at you, even if you're not looking at them, you just turn the chair and they're looking at the wall.
Yeah.
You know?
And
It's safe in a way. It's fucked up, but it's like it's safe in a way.
No, it's good. Well, this ever happened to you? You're like, you are cutting someone. Cause you still cut, right?
Yeah.
You're cutting
I'll
someone.
always cut.
I don't like that. I don't want to always cut.
That's crazy to me.
We'll get into that in 1 second.
We will.
So I'm cutting someone. They're next to me. The easiest way is to look at each other through the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
but motherfuckers want to turn to me.
Oh, don't even get me started.
And I'm like,
with
yo,
that.
we're like a foot away from each other. We can't do this.
Oh, bro, I've had some bad ones.
Next up is kissing. Like,
Nah, I've had some doing a goatee
And then
and
look at
someone
you-
staring me in the eye. I said, oh, bro.
Do you say something?
I think when I was younger, I would say something stupid, but now I'll just stop what I'm doing. Like, I'll just adjust it so we can't do it.
You don't have that relationship where you can be like, yo, stop looking at me in the fucking eyes. I tell people all the time. You don't. Okay, that's fine.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
so this is where I want to get to. As a barber, we do have the power. And I realized that when my brother had a restaurant, and I thought it was very cool. And I went in there one day, and I go and I'm working the register. And the way these motherfuckers came in and ordered from me, and like, you know, whatever food they wanted, the way they spoke to me, I have never felt that in my life.
Disrespected.
It was not disrespected, but I was the like
The
chinito.
service.
I was
Oh, yeah.
and I didn't have my barber power,
Yeah.
and I was like, holy shit, this is
That's
crazy.
so interesting.
I had no power mat, and no power mat. That's weird. And I did a delivery, and listen, I appreciate delivery people a lot more now. Like, I'm doing this delivery, I'm looking for the house, and I felt like this could be an ambush. Motherfuckers be trying to kill me right now.
Interesting.
And I go and I give this motherfucker a sandwich. He gave me like 65 cents as a tip. And that moment I realized how great we have it as a barber.
Yeah.
The power,
Yeah.
the respect, and the love.
Respect and love. Yeah.
Men love us.
Yeah.
Not in that way,
Yeah.
but like men love us. And whenever I'm somewhere and I say I'm a barber, you automatically get this love.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild.
Totally.
But this is not about me. So
It's funny. I just want to share a little story about
hit us.
dude, I remember years ago I was doing something in the attic of my parents' house where I used to cut hair, and I needed some help. Like,
That never happened. Allegedly. I think that's
what?
go ahead.
What never happened?
You allegedly used to cut in the attic.
Yes.
Continue.
And no, I did. That's where I started. I'm not ashamed of it.
No, I think that's like
Illegal?
continue.
Bro, I was like 13. I was 13, 14.
So you cut
But I needed help.
friends and family up there.
Yes.
Continue.
Nah, I made coins. I was charging like $5 a haircut.
You're not supposed
For
to say
years.
any of
Nah.
Whatever.
Come after me for my $5 a haircut. Bro, but I needed help, so I hired these like two really cool Guatemalan men from Palisades Park. Well,
Guatemalan man.
bro, we get back to the house. One of the dudes was like, "Oh, like where's the work?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's upstairs." So he's like, "All right, come on, let's go." And then his boy, like all of a sudden, the look on his face changed, and he got like shook. And I'm like, "Yo, like what's wrong with your boy?" He didn't want to come up, and I'm like, "Yo, like I'm not fucking with like it's up in the attic, bro. Do you know that this poor man was traumatized because people had like hired him, like pretended to hire him, and they like fucking locked him up in like basements and attics and just like would fuck with him and like beat him up." That like my heart just fucking broke. And then finally, like I was like, all right, well, how about
My heart just broke.
yeah, bro, it was just
Thank you for taking us to such a dark place.
I'm sorry. It reminded me of like ambush. Like
Yes.
imagine what that must feel like. Like you have, you know, I mean, we're not gonna get into all that racist shit and just. But imagine you have no choice but to put yourself in a position that could jeopardize your well-being because you have to feed yourself. So like,
And
it's crazy.
in its legal status, I'm assuming
No, undocumented.
you don't report shit
You
to
can't,
the police.
and that's what's so fucked up, bro. My dad, you know, he's been a landscaper his whole life, and he's a good dude, man. And he has, you know, Guatemalan men that have worked for him forever, like people who I consider. I've known them for 20-something years, but like some of their friends have stories of like working for contractors And the contractor's like, oh, I'm not paying you. What are you going to do?
Shit.
Crazy.
I have heard of that.
Yeah. It's like classic.
Yikes.
Imagine, bro, like you bust your ass for a week or like months, and then they're like, I'm not paying you. What are you going to do? And like how paralyzing that is.
I know some celebrities that act like that. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
That's crazy.
Like it's a privilege to work for them.
Yes. But we're not getting into that right now.
Right.
So did he go upstairs?
Eventually, because his boy went upstairs. And I think what helped is that my friend Danny, who's a Latino friend, I guess he was like a buffer in a way that like it wasn't just like this white dude, even though I spoke Spanish, but like his one boy went upstairs with my boy Danny and myself, and then like he waited outside, and then his boy came down and said, no, like there's real work to be done. And yeah, it was crazy.
That's sad.
Yeah.
We gotta reset cameras.
Yeah.
Wow, that like took me to another place.
Yeah.
That shit is sad.
Yeah, brother. Yeah.
Okay, so we're back on set. Power.
Yeah.
Walk us through that. How good was it? Was it what you expected? Was it? You made it. You made it to what you wanted.
Yeah. I mean, and what do you mean by that?
You got what the fuck you wanted. You were on set on a major show.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to do more. And like I had a small kind of like supporting, like I didn't get a chance to really like
stretch your legs.
To like sink my teeth into it. It's kind of like, it's almost like being on like a hoop squat, like being on like the Lakers, and you kind of get in at like the last 4 minutes because you guys are like, it's not like that, but in a way it is. It's like, yeah, I mean, like Bron.
You went away from it, and then you came back to it. It's not, but it is.
Yeah, it's not, but it is, and that's really the truth. It's like it's a great kind of resume building. It's great. It's energy toward the trajectory is kind of it's. It
is good energy.
Yeah,
it is good
energy.
Energy.
It's also nice like getting paid good money for something that like you love to do.
Correct.
And like I got it's.
You got what?
No, it's just like getting that experience on a set of that magnitude is important because, there's a lot of shit going on.
Correct.
A lot of lights, a lot of people people have a lot of shit to do, sometimes, because of a setup, I'm like, you're in a corner and like, you can't move, but you got to deliver a line in a way. And like the comfort isn't always at your disposal. You have to figure out a way to get comfortable in discomfort. So it's good for like the muscle, right? So like coming from acting school when it's just things are a bit easier. Like sometimes they're like, all right, like we're going into this now. Like you got 2 seconds. Like, all right, we're changing setups. We got to change the lens, but like we're going right into this scene. Like there's no time for prep, like emotional prep in the same way you'd have in like in school or something.
Correct. But didn't you learn from being a barber that in time you're going to get that power? No pun intended. Like you're going to have that power.
Bro,
as an actor.
You know what's been so special? I actually shared a post about this. What's so amazing about having barbering is that it is a reference point for everything that I do. Because I remember cutting, like when I would hang out at Latin Barbers before the shop and wanting, bro.
You hung out in Latin Barbers?
Yeah, I hung out in Latin Barbers.
So people that don't know, Latin Barbers was like the
shop.
The pre-shop.
Yeah.
It was just it was a barbershop in Englewood, New Jersey, and that was like the place to be.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So hanging out Latin Barbers.
Yeah, and like watching like who was like Eddie, Korean barber, like giving a shape up and like just wanting so badly to be able to do that. And like I would go home and try to practice and I would fuck my friends up and I was so upset about it. But to fast forward, it's like
Wait, sorry.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. I used to sit in a barbershop in Washington Heights.
Yeah.
And be like, I want to do what these Dominicans are doing.
How do you do it?
Yeah. And it was like,
yeah.
I don't know if it happened to you, but I idolized these men.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
And But everything they did,
Everything.
they had a Nextel.
Yeah.
They had bitches.
Yeah.
They
bro.
had like sharp fucking fades all the time.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, it's so cool. I
fly.
want to be
Always
just
with the fly gear too.
Yes.
The music. They always knew
Yes.
about the music.
cars.
Yeah. Everything.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It was.
remember-
I mean, that's why barbering. It's like all encompassing. It's like it's hip hop.
We're the fifth element of hip hop.
Yeah, bro. It's a special place. Barbershop's my favorite place. Not the shop, like Latin barbers. The shop type shops are like Dominican barbershops too. Because I not only was I hanging out in Latin barbers in the shop, my friend Randy, who grew up in Dykeman, would take me there, and like I also hung out in shops in Washington Heights. But
Wait. No,
yeah.
I'm cutting you off again.
Mm-hmm.
There are. So you live in the city.
Right now, yeah.
Yes. Are there any shops around that have a great vibe?
No, not like. But I'm just gonna say, white barbershops just don't have that same energy.
But you get your haircut from Dominicans.
Yes.
Wow, I'm trying to think if there's a barbershop with like great vibes to just hang out at.
Like, right now, you mean?
Yeah, in general.
Oh, I'm sure.
I haven't been. Okay, but continue.
But you hate barbershop. You don't even want to cut hair anymore, bro.
I hate working in a barbershop as a barber.
Right.
I don't want to say I hate. I do hate it. But you know what? I feel like a machine. I feel like a machine.
It's a factory. That's
and
what it
I'm
is,
just
yeah.
like cranking out these motherfuckers.
Yep.
And I hate the repetitiveness of it.
Yep.
I hate knowing that you're gonna. Some clients, and this is not about me again, but we're gonna back to you.
Yeah.
Some clients are gonna come and tell me the exact same thing every time.
I know, dude. It's like
What you do this
it's like
weekend?
maddening.
Yes.
I know.
And I'm like, this motherfucker is coming and he's gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
And I want to punch him in the face again. But continue. So you learned things as a barber that translate into acting.
I mean, just like the process of it. Like, if I keep doing this thing and if I keep practicing, it's just evolution, right? I mean, acting is a bit different. And I was talking about this with someone recently. It's like, because you can't quantify it. Like, you don't, like, whereas with cutting, if you keep doing it, you're going to get better no matter what. And you're going to get more clients if you're good, right?
Correct.
Whereas with acting, like, I might not have another acting job for 3 years. And it doesn't mean that I'm a bad actor. It's just,
Don't say that.
There are so many other things that go into whether or not I get a job.
We don't speak that into existence.
No, but it's just the truth though. Like, it's just to make an example. But to answer your question is, like, I always think back to cutting and how I was uncomfortable with where I was when I first started cutting. But now I cut hair and I just don't even think about it because it's just in my body, you know.
So does that give you what's the word? Does that give you certainty that you're gonna get to that place?
Yeah.
As
Like,
as an actor.
I don't even know what the place is though. Not to be on some like,
be on it.
yeah, like I don't even know. I like it. It's different for me every day. You know, it's like the definition. I'm still trying to I'm trying to define that still. You know,
Define what?
like
What it means?
that place is. You know,
Correct.
like for me, I remember when I first started cutting. I'm like, yo, if I could just have people like waiting for me in the shop, like if I have a line of people waiting for me, like, that's all I want. That's all
That's
I want.
crazy.
I mean, you know, like I'm booked almost every day. I still cut a couple days a week. I have my own little space, and like I'm booked every day. And not that I take it for granted, but sometimes when I'm in a mood about cutting or it feels redundant and I feel like I'm not where I want to be, I'm just like, you know, get a little like dose of gratitude because I remember what it felt like when I didn't know how to even, like, I remember sweating over a client, bro. Like, I almost didn't
did
want
that?
No, bro, I didn't want people to come sit in my chair because I would like
I
shake.
used to sweat a lot.
Yeah, bro, I would shake.
I never got the shakes, but I got the sweats.
The sweat's the worst, bro. And then when you know your client knows that you're fucking up their haircut, and it's like, it's the worst, bro. It's the worst.
I remember I used to cut with this dude. He was like 6'2". So he would tower over people. And whenever he got the sweats, it would drip
Onto the head?
onto the client.
Oh, fuck.
That was the nastiest thing I ever seen. But okay, so you did a few episodes of Power.
2 seasons, like a few episodes each season.
You got killed. How did it feel to get killed?
I mean, it was fine. It was kind of dope, you know. Like it was like second to last episode of the entire history of like the show is done.
Oh,
so,
it ended?
There might be one episode left. I'm not sure, but
Oh, cool.
I mean, to make it to like the last, and from what I was told, I wasn't even supposed to come back. But my boy Joe, who played Vincent,
who's that? The bigger Italian, the head Italian,
the head dude. They loved him, and I was kind of with like a part of his crew. I was his right hand man, but so if essentially like because they loved him, I kind of went with him because I was a part of his crew.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you got shot.
Yeah.
Did they put those things in you?
No, because it wasn't. They didn't. We weren't close up like that. And it was dark out. So they're called squibs, but no, we didn't need
squibs.
Squibs, yeah.
Oh, so you didn't see it anyway.
A lot of people don't know I got shot twice in Power in the first season too.
What do you mean?
There was like I think it was my first episode. I got shot in the leg, but like the way.
Why are you getting shot so much?
I don't know, but the coverage of it was faulty. Like you didn't see it. They didn't get the
you
right.
You mean the
coverage.
camera coverage?
Yeah,
was faulty.
Yeah, and there were like references to me getting shot. I mean, bro, like people don't not. I have a small.
Stop saying that.
Okay.
2020, we're giants.
All right, but yeah, so I got shot twice.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so now that's done. I saw the show once.
Mm-hmm.
I was over at. You know what's coming. I was cutting Playboy Cardi, and he took a
Who's that?
Playboy Cardi. He's the guy that Millie rocks. When I'm in New York, I Millie rock some shit.
Okay.
So I went to cut him. Hurry up and wait. You know what hurry up and wait is?
I know what that slogan means. Yeah.
What does it mean?
It's like the classic acting thing.
It's in acting?
Oh, I mean, like hurry up and wait. You wait on set more than you actually do anything.
But it's like hurry up and get the fuck here, and then you wait.
Oh yeah, well that as well.
Huh. So we have that in celebrity barbering. So
which is why I have no interest in ever doing that.
Yo, we could do a whole episode about that. But basically, Playboy Cardi's people call me.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically call like, we need to hear like yesterday where you been. And this is the first time I'm talking to them. And so I rushed to get there, wait a little bit. I'm very happy with him though. We're not talking shit.
Yeah.
And I waited like half an hour, and his security was watching Power.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like a really, really good show.
It was very entertaining.
Huh. Excuse me. It's okay. So you got shot. It ended. What else? Anything else that you learned from barbering that translates into this? Because I'm finding out that there's a lot of things that I'm taking from barbering.
Yeah.
To other things.
Honestly, Jose, it's just like process, and like really loving. Like, bro, I love cutting hair. I do. I love cutting hair. Nah, man, don't knock that, bro. Cause that.
Did you cut as much hair as I did for me to not?
I feel like I've cut more hair than you, bro.
Really?
The kind of shop that I worked in for like 7 years.
Matt's taking.
No, it's just different. Like the kind of shop I cut in.
Oh, you were cutting 15-minute cuts.
No, 30. But
okay.
like, bro, I was doing like 20 haircuts a day, 5 days a week for years.
Yikes.
So it's just the factory part of it. I paid my dues, but just like really loving. Like the thing is, I care about every haircut that I do. I really do, bro. Because I remember what it felt like to not know how to do it and how like devastating that felt for me. So it's.
You have a chip on your shoulder when it comes to barbering?
I mean, I feel like I have to prove things to myself still. Yeah.
Because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, bro, because I'm never I'm never going to be totally pleased with a haircut. That's why I keep cutting hair in a way. I'm never going to be totally pleased with a performance. That's why I keep doing it, because if I was like, oh yeah, that's great, I wouldn't change anything, then it's like, why the fuck do I do it? I can look at a cut and be like, yeah, that's a really good cut. Like, I like that a lot. But I can always nitpick and like, there's that. But like, even if nobody else sees it, I'll always, whether it be a performance or like, I started woodworking like a year ago. That's my new obsession. I want to quit everything and just become a woodworker, honestly. But, I'll always just kind of see something in something that I do and find a way that it can be better, which is why I'll always do it.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because there's like an infinite amount of ways a haircut could come out.
Yeah.
There's so many different things that you could do.
Yep.
And I'm not. So you want to be known. You want to be known for being a great barber.
Yeah.
Really?
Totally.
Like I said, I've never felt that.
Yeah.
Like, I literally was more. I was happy that I was funnier than Joe's other barber. That's all I cared about. I don't know why. Being funny has always been like a thing to me.
Yeah.
Something of value.
Yeah.
And even that's funny.
Yeah. I'm also just thinking of just like characters in barbershops growing up. Like,
Yeah.
it's funny.
It is full of characters.
Yeah. That's like the shops that I worked at in the city. You don't have like the mascot that would come in and just talk shit all day, which I always missed. But I imagine it gets old in a way.
They reinvent themselves. They always have something to talk about.
Always.
Times change, they change, and all that.
Yeah.
But Matt, thank you very much for coming.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap this up because I gotta go.
Yeah.
You could check out Matt. Well, Matt's done. You're not gonna see him anymore.
Yeah.
On Power.
But I have a movie that hopefully will come out soon.
Tell us about that real quick, because I gotta.
Yeah.
go.
No, it's called. It's a thing I shot in Florida over the summer. It's called God's Waiting Room.
God's Waiting Room.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where you were wearing blonde hair.
Yeah, I had blonde hair for it. It was dope.
That was a cool look for you.
Yeah, I liked it actually.
The whole thing.
Yeah, thanks, man.
You look like a fuck boy.
Yeah, that was the point.
You should do that this summer. What's the movie about?
It's a love story about like two 20-somethings in Tampa, Florida, just like figuring out young love and like their place in the world and trying to break away from what you're born into, but like all of this shit kind of gets in the way. And I play this kid named Jules, who's originally from New York, moves down to Florida and kind of thinks he runs shit. It's cool. Hopefully, they're just about done editing and going to do the whole festival circuit. So hopefully the world will see it at some point next year.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
So it's coming out next year.
Hopefully. Yeah. I mean, hopefully it does well on the festival circuit and gets picked up. So, yeah.
Do you ever want to play a barber in a movie?
Yeah.
No, there's no interest there.
I mean,
I saw it in your face. You're like, I don't go.
Not just like, oh, we need someone who actually knows how to cut hair, but like if it's an actual moving piece to a story, it's like, yeah, that would be cool. There's nothing worse than seeing movies when motherfuckers are cutting hair and like no hair's coming off because or like they don't know how to hold the clipper. I'm like, all right, you lost me there. Shut this shit off. Yeah, do it. Yeah. It's just like
they hold it like this.
I'm like, bro, I don't see any hair coming off. First of all, you're not even looking at it. Like, it's like, get out of here.
That is true. I've seen
disrespectful.
Do they do that? Have you seen the show The Shop on HBO?
Yeah. See,
I saw it once.
I have an issue with that.
Tell me what your issue is.
It's cheesy because it's not, and that's like when LeBron and they all sit in a barber chair.
Yes.
It's just it's not real. It's cool.
They have real barbers.
Right, but it's not an actual barber. Like, it's just, you know what I'm saying?
It's what's the word?
It's contrived.
It is very contrived. And it's mimicking, it's pantomiming.
Pantomime.
Great
word. Yeah.
Great word. It's pantomiming a barbershop.
Right. And it's not.
It's trying to recreate it.
And you can't.
No, you can't. But that's the closest I've seen to like. Well, I know the real barbers. I don't know if they cut here and there, but you can't cut and have mics on. Like the shit. Can I see that, please?
Yeah. But do the barbers even talk?
No, the barbers don't talk.
Oh, bro, see, that's it. The barbers are some of the most opinionated motherfuckers. Yeah. That's what it is. But that's my issue with it as well then, right? So a barber is always involved in the conversation.
Shit. How you gonna have LeBron? How you gonna have a show called
And not let the
The
barbers
Shop
talk?
and the barbers don't talk?
That's absurd. It's crazy, bro. Moving on.
It might as well be called the dentist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just
A bunch of dudes sitting in dentist chairs.
right. Well, you can't talk if you got shit in the fucking
They're not getting a haircut either.
right. Yeah, it's stupid.
Huh. That's interesting. All right, Matt.
All right,
Thank you for
brother.
coming.
Thank you. Later.